Mo, how are you?
It's Cammy.
Cammy. I knew you'd do that. Cammy Forbes, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks very much.
Good. I'm just off the park. Normally when I do this I've not played football, but I'm just off the park, as you know, for an hour, chasing after your passes. So I'm absolutely knackered. We've not had time to go to the make-up and anything to get it organised. And you go on holiday in about half an hour?
Just away for a week, just to get a wee break. Yeah.
Where are you off to?
Just down to here, down to Craig Tara. Yeah, take the dog.
Brilliant.
Walk about, enjoy myself.
Walking, remember?
Walking, no running, no. I'm too tired from today.
Cammy, you're one of our newest recruits here, I suppose, now, although it feels as though you've been here for yonks.
Probably 4 months maybe.
Right.
March,
since after the second lockdown.
Yeah.
You and Mo.
Yeah.
How did you find out about it?
Mo's son, Gary, was doing teaching kids.
Right.
He happened to come across you guys and said it'd be good for Mo and I to
Oh, he was on the park there?
Yeah, he was.
We used at Dennis Donnelly?
Yeah, Dennis Donnelly, yeah. And
right.
He was, and he said Mo and I would be interested in this, and we came down and
were you playing football already?
Yeah, we played quite a lot, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but after lockdown we hadn't really done anything for a long time.
How many times you playing a week now in the walking football?
Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Can you enjoy it?
Yeah, well, you could say, it's become part of my life.
Yeah.
A major part, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the same for a lot of guys as well. It's been a wee lifesaver, especially coming out of lockdown and whatnot. Where are you from?
Originally from Govan Hill.
Right.
Grew up there and then moved to Crookston and then moved to South Park Village and then moved out to Uplamore.
Right.
Get far away from Glasgow as I can.
I had a big pal lived in Uplamore. Yeah, it's a beautiful village.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
And I need to ask you the question, don't I? The Glasgow question. What school did you go to?
I went to Queen's Park Secondary School.
Right. And who's your team?
Queen's Park.
Queen's Park.
Yeah,
great answer. We've not had an Old Firm supporter yet, you know that?
No, well that's a good. Well, wait till you get Mo.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. We'll no interview him.
No, originally it was Third Lanark,
right.
which is the sort of feeder club. You know, as you went.
Yes.
So we used to be able to skip in when we were younger.
Right.
To Third Lanark, and then when it dissolved, in, I think it was 67 or 68 or something, we moved on to Queen's Park.
Have you spoke to Blair James when it comes to walking football?
No.
He's very well connected at Queen's Park. He wrote a book about Queen's Park.
Right,
yeah. A big book. It's mostly pictures. It's about the origins of Queen's Park and Hampden and all that. It's very interesting. In fact, I'll need to get him in for an interview. What are you doing here? Yeah, he comes to the Friday session. I'll need to introduce you to him. Because that's 3 Queen's Park supporters coming to the one walking football session.
That's quite good. We get a Queen's Park team eventually.
You must know each other. You'll know when you see them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
From the stand. Probably been sitting next to him.
Well, it's been a while since I've been.
Yeah. They're doing well this season. Doing well the last few while.
Won the league last year,
Yeah. Excellent. I've not seen you with your Queen's Park top on.
I have one, but it says Cammy 50 on it. It's now 15 years old. I got it for my 50th birthday.
Wow.
So
it still fit you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I've got strips from the 1990s that still fit me.
Brilliant. And we've got the over 65s league coming as well. Cammy, looking forward to that. You're a mainstay of that team. I need to ask you about your Velcro right foot though.
Velcro both feet, I think.
Is it both feet now?
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, Cammy's got this move that he does with the ball, and it's as if the ball's stuck to your foot, just for that wee movement of the ball. The drag back.
It's deemed as 1 touch.
Yeah.
A lot of referees go that was 2, and a lot of other players say it's 2, but it's not. It looks like 2, maybe 3, but it's not. It's just a 1.
Well, nobody likes being made an absolute fool of when you do it to them, and that's why they've got to think of something to say, even the referees, because it is quite bamboozling.
It's because you think you're going to let it go.
Yeah. It's great for the walking football though. It's a great...
Gets you an extra touch.
The kind of debate that's going on just now is about the walking and the jogging and the running. What's your take on that? Having been playing now for 6 months.
6 months. I find the 3 touch awkward.
Right.
3 touch. I know that the rest of Britain they play open, but definitely no walking. I don't know if we're different up here, but I think if we could possibly go to just definitely no running, but as many touches.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would work.
I know some clubs do it.
Yeah.
And
because I think that's the hardest thing to get used to is the 3 touches.
Yeah.
Because then if you make a mess of it, you're deemed to run to catch up.
See, I've got a theory about this because I was watching the Scottish netball team, the girls playing netball at Bellhouston just before lockdown, And the netball players all wear a position on their back.
Yeah.
They've all got a place on the field. There's their area, and they need to stay within their area.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't move with the ball.
Right.
That's the rules of netball. It's not like basketball where you can bounce the ball. They get, the girls here will probably know this. You get the ball, you can be moving when you get the ball, but you have to stop and pass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different discipline altogether. It's a wee bit like the three touch.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah,
and it teaches you how to move,
Yeah.
because the movement of the Scottish international schoolgirls was incredible. They never stopped any of them, because the person that's got the ball, you need to give them options.
Yeah,
and that's a wee bit like the walking full. It makes everybody move, and it stops the guys that could run or go faster,
getting ball,
running off with the ball or walking away with the ball.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of equaliser for everyone, I think.
No, I agree. Yeah.
But there was a thing I watched the other day with walking football, and it was girls again, and they actually were walking. They were young girls, so they could have ran.
Yeah.
But to make it enjoyable for everybody, they made it walking, and they were actually walking.
Yeah.
Not like our walking.
Our walking.
I think we need now 3 tiers of walking football, really. The low intensity, the normal, and the whole purpose of walking football, I suppose, was to get us fitter. Guys that hadn't been out and hadn't been doing much, and that's working. And now they want to run.
Definitely.
So it's a good sign, I think. We just need to
it's a great thing.
accommodate it within the game. So when you came, nobody knew this, I don't think, until a couple of weeks ago, Cammy, that you've had some health issues of your own over the last while. Yeah. And you told me about it maybe a month ago. And now I saw you talking to Matt Ramsey, who runs Glasgow Club, the other day. So do you want to tell me a wee bit about that? How it came about?
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's just over 2 years ago.
Right.
But probably, looking back, I probably had it longer than that.
Right.
You know, just a slight tremor in my hand, and then I had to go and get an MRI scan and stuff like that. Then and came out positive. Yeah, I've got it. So I've been diagnosed for 2 years, mainly in, as you can see, in my left hand, down my left side. It's not got to my legs yet, thank goodness.
Right.
But eventually it will, because there's no immediate cure. So.
When you say that you think you maybe had it longer than that,
yeah,
were there symptoms before that people should watch out for?
Yeah, just anxiety coming across you, really. Like in the job I was in, there was a live sound engineer for bands and stuff like that. Right. And then when we're dealing with so many people at one time, I felt as though I'm not dealing with this very well.
In venues and things like that?
Yeah.
Behind the desk? You were on the desk?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're doing sound checks with 4 and 5 different bands turning up in a festival, and you've got to deal with them. And I found that really difficult.
That interaction?
Interaction, yeah. And
or because they're all assholes?
Well, I think mainly, yeah.
A bit of both?
A bit of both. So that, and then when I was, in the winter when I was playing football, I was carrying my bag, I would carry it over this shoulder, and then I noticed that this hand was shaking. I thought, maybe it's just because it's cold,
Yeah.
And then it just got progressively worse. And if I'd been sitting at a table, it would just move, so I had to go and get tested.
So did you go and get tested specifically for that, or did you go to the doctor?
I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "They check you for." He sent me to the specialist, and the 4 things are cancer, motor neuron disease, MS, and Parkinson's. Right. They're all taken in under this scan.
Okay.
And to be honest, I got the lucky one, really. Right. Out of these, if you can deem it lucky, but so.
It could have been worse. It could always be worse, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be running about kicking a ball.
Walking about, kicking a ball.
Hopping about, kicking a ball.
Or jogging about, as David Denham said. So from you thinking there's something not right here, how long until you went to the doctor and got sent for the scan?
I'd probably say a year, maybe.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I've probably been in my system for 3 years.
Any other symptoms? Dietary signs?
Yeah, you do get a lot of constipation, stuff like that.
Right.
I say anxiety, depression.
Right.
Yeah. Being stuck in a room on your own. Concentration as well. If I'm sitting watching a film or something like that, I lose concentration because the shaking starting and stuff like that. Right. So it's hard to actually chill out and relax.
And since you were diagnosed then 2 years ago, has there been deterioration? I take it you get tested regularly?
Yeah. Well, I should have been tested more, but the lockdown came in, so I wasn't able to go in. So eventually, this moment it's down to twice a year. So March, and then I'll go back in December again, and they'll reassess it from there. And I'm trying to stay off as much medication as I can, because I think if you see people like Billy Connolly was like before he was diagnosed, he was full of life. And now you see him on the telly, he's on medication.
A wee bit slower.
Yeah, and I don't want to end up like that. It's going to end up like that at some point.
Right.
But I don't want.
So you're staving off the meds as far as you can. Yeah, I think that's wise.
I find the football a medicine.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you think that's because of the physical exercise or the mental exercise?
And
or
interaction with other people. When I first came along, I was a bit nervous meeting different people, but now I know everybody.
Yep.
It feels like a home, and I look forward to going, look forward to playing. I meet up with Mo before we have a coffee and stuff like that.
Pal.
Yeah, my pal. And it's become a major part of my life now.
Right. So the physical exercise, is that part of the treatment then? Does the doctor say keep active?
Yeah, stay active. It's just people, if you take up running and stuff like that, do all that kind of stuff. But
because you hear of people with Parkinson's doing marathons and
doing
they can still triathlons and things like that.
Well, when the football stopped, I took up running. I did 64, because that's the age I was at 10, 6k runs during that year. And then the lockdown came again, the second one, and I tried to do it again. I thought, but when you're out running, it's just you in your head. When you're trying, and I'm like, this is not. It wasn't enjoyable, So when the football started back in with you guys, that was just perfect for me.
That's interesting, Cammy, because as you know, Glasgow Club are now working in association with the Parkinson's Society, and we're going to be advertising. In fact, we've been talking to care homes and things like that to encourage people with Parkinson's to come forward, and we can create walking football groups. Yeah. I think you've just emphasised the most important part of that's not the football. It could be anything. Yeah, it's the activity, and more importantly, is the socialisation to break that anxiety and definitely. Break that reluctance. Because it's like any illness, the more exclusive, secluded you become, the worse it becomes. It's a downward spiral. Definitely. So we want to intervene there as much as we can. For people with Parkinson's and the other things that you mentioned as well. Yeah. Are you part of any of the charitable work or anything like that just now? No, I haven't done anything like that. I've always said when you get diagnosed, you look into all the YouTube videos, the things that you can do and all that. So I've done all that, and then a guy phoned me up from the Parkinson's Trust to explain. There's people there if you want to talk to them. Right. But, going along to something like that, I'd rather come here because I know you guys now. Yeah. But going to something strange like that. Quite unnerving. It's anxiety on its own. Yeah. I can see the benefits of it, but getting there's probably the hardest part. I suppose once you've done it once, you'll be okay going along. Yeah. Any tips for anybody that is maybe at the start of the journey that you're on as well? Exercise. Or not sure. Exercise, keeping your mind active. Try and catch it as early as you can, I suppose. I'm like you. I was a piano player, right? And I noticed syncopation going. Right. And I thought, bits that I could play, I think, maybe I'm just not practising enough. And that was it, syncopation would go, and then when I concentrated in the hands, the leg would start to twitch. Right. So, the wee telltale sign, that's why I found that, I just thought it was generally a lack of practice. You play keyboards as well? Yeah. What did you play? What instrument did you have? I played a Fender Rhodes. I had a Fender Rhodes, I had a Wurlitzer piano, I had a Prophet 5, I had a DX7, I had a D50. I had a Korg. And I've got a Technics. I had a Moog. Right, because since we're quite new, when I started 1977, I started. I made Prodigy. That's Prodigy. Do you know how much it's worth now? Oh, I sold it about 5 years ago for about £1,000. Well, it's worth about 3,000 now. For the Prodigy, but the Mini Moog is worth more. Yes. You think the Mini Moog is the oscillator one? Yeah. Worth an absolute fortune. I know. And the Prophet, only 1.5 octaves. I know, the Prophet 5 keyboard, which came out, the DX7 killed that. Yeah. And it's worth about 4 or 5 grand now for one of them. Wish I'd one of them in the loft. I think we could go on a day about the music scene alone. But very interesting. The Parkinson's stuff kind of ties us up, but I've got a feeling that's very important stuff, Campbell. Well, it's important to me in my life now, It's something that, until you get something like that, not much you can do. By the grace of God. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks very much for your time.